Motifs. So motifs are a little trickier to find out, although at some level they're actually quite easy. It's a symbol that usually ends up repeating itself or bearing itself out as an extended metaphor. That's really how you find a motif. Obviously, a rose for Emily is what we're reading this week. If you read some of the introductory material, you quickly see that right, the rose and decay are a major motif. In addition, some of the previous entries, some of the previous things we've read, chrysanthemums, clothing becomes a motif. And this is actually not entirely uncommon. It's become really common with modern day film and television making, where they will use clothing to really show characters. It stems back to the old black and white, westerns where good guys wore white and bad guys wore black. Those are universal symbols, and they could create a little motif around that. But now, as characters develop more complexly, a lot of times they'll change their clothes, especially the colors and the colors of the whole screen. Same thing with literary authors. Chrysanthemums, she changes her clothes, right, quite a bit. And it comes out with this very sort of downtrodden. And as she begins to have some hope, depending how you want to view that hope, she changes her clothes sort of accordingly. She becomes more alive, and so do her clothes. Same thing, story of an hour. One motif is possibly weeping because there's two different modes of weeping. And then the second one is spring. It's the season. So seasons can become motifs as well. Spring drives a lot of the imagery. And for a death story to have spring as your motif shows you the twist. If you don't catch it, you may never understand a story of an hour. You may not understand that subtle twist that happens when she weeps tears of sadness and she starts weeping tears of joy at her newfound freedom. My grandmother could relate. So pay subtle attention to your setting, your character's clothes, colors, universal symbols working as extended metaphors, and then you'll usually catch your motif. Have fun.